Commander Ryan stood on the bridge of the starship Aurora, staring at the endless stretch of stars outside the viewport. The hum of the engines was steady, almost comforting, but Ryan could feel the tension in his chest. The mission was routine: explore uncharted star systems, scan for planets suitable for human settlement, and report findings to the Galactic Council. Nothing in his training had prepared him for what he was about to discover. The sensors beeped, drawing Ryan's attention. A planet appeared on the screen, glowing faintly with energy signatures unlike anything the crew had seen before. The readings were strange. The energy pulses were irregular but stable, suggesting life forms, but no known species matched the pattern. "Commander, this planet is not on any maps," said Lieutenant Mara, her voice calm but curious. "The energy readings are strong. Should we investigate?" Ryan nodded slowly. "Prepare a landing team. I want a full scan, but keep it low profile. We don't know what we're dealing with." The shuttle descended through the planet's atmosphere. Below, Ryan could see a landscape bathed in soft light. The ground shimmered like crystal, reflecting the sky in colors he had never seen. Strange structures rose from the terrain, tall and elegant, glowing faintly with inner light. The city appeared alive, as if it were breathing. Ryan felt a mixture of awe and caution. "Stay alert," he instructed the team. "We don't know who or what lives here." As they walked closer, Ryan noticed movement. Figures appeared among the crystalline structures. They were humanoid, but their skin seemed to glow slightly, and their eyes reflected light in unusual colors. They did not speak but observed the humans quietly. One figure stepped forward. She was taller than a human, slender, and moved with grace. Her skin shimmered like polished stone, and her eyes were deep and bright, reflecting the soft colors of the city. She held out her hand, palm up, in a gesture that seemed both welcoming and cautious. Ryan stepped forward slowly. He raised his hand in response. "I am Commander Ryan of the Human Exploration Fleet," he said carefully. "We mean no harm." The figure tilted her head slightly and produced a soft hum. It was not language as Ryan knew it, but somehow he understood it carried meaning. The hum was melodic, almost musical. She repeated the gesture, pointing to herself. Ryan understood that she wanted to communicate her name. "Ela," he said, testing the sound aloud. She nodded once, a small smile forming. Over the next few hours, Ryan and Ela experimented with ways to communicate. They used gestures, drawing shapes in the sand, pointing to objects, and repeating sounds. Slowly, a basic understanding formed. Ela pointed to her people and made a gesture indicating peace. Ryan realized that she wanted to show him her city without fear of attack. The city was unlike anything Ryan had ever seen. Buildings seemed to grow naturally from the ground, each structure flowing into the next like part of a living organism. Paths were clear, but they were made of light rather than solid material. When Ryan walked, the paths glowed beneath his feet, guiding him as if the city itself wanted him to see everything. Ela led him to a central plaza, where more of her people gathered. They watched silently but did not approach aggressively. Ryan felt the weight of their gaze. He understood that trust would take time. Ela looked at him, and he sensed curiosity in her expression. She touched his arm lightly, and a wave of warmth spread through him. It was not just a physical sensation, it felt like an invitation to understand her world. As the sun on this planet began to set, casting long, colorful shadows, Ryan and Ela stood together. She pointed to the horizon and made a gesture that looked like looking far into the distance. He understood she was showing him the importance of her land and her people. Ryan realized that this planet and its inhabitants were special, perhaps more than anything humans had ever discovered. Night fell, and the city transformed. The crystal structures reflected the starlight, making the whole place glow like a constellation brought to life. Ryan felt a strange calm. He knew that his discovery would change everything, but he also knew that he needed to protect these people. Ila led him to a resting area, a place that resembled a garden but glowed faintly in the dark. Soft lights hovered above the ground like fireflies. Ryan sat quietly, watching her as she moved among the lights. There was a peace in her movements, a harmony that seemed impossible yet real. "You are brave to come here," Ila finally said in her melodic hums, which Ryan now could interpret with the translator device he had set up. "You could leave. Others like you would take my world. You stay." Ryan looked at her. He felt an unexpected connection, stronger than any he had experienced in his years exploring the stars. "I want to understand your people. I want to help you," he said honestly. Ila smiled softly and placed her hand over her chest, then extended it toward him. He placed his hand over hers. There was no need for more words. In that moment, a bond formed between them. Ryan realized that this connection was not just curiosity or duty. It was something deeper, something that could change both their lives forever. The night continued, and they shared stories through gestures and simple phrases. Ila showed him the ways her people lived in harmony with the energy of their planet. They did not consume or destroy, they grew and nurtured. Ryan marveled at their technology, which seemed to blend with nature rather than dominate it. By the time the first light of the planet's morning appeared, Ryan knew his life had changed. He was no longer just a commander exploring the stars. He was a human who had discovered a world worth protecting and a being worth knowing beyond measure. He did not yet understand the full risks of his choice, but he knew that for the first time, he had found someone who made him willing to face anything. Ila took his hand as the sun rose, and Ryan felt a surge of determination. Whatever challenges lay ahead, he would face them. He would protect her, her people, and this hidden world. For Ryan, the stars no longer felt empty. They were alive with possibilities, and at the center of those possibilities was Ila. The encounter was only the beginning. Ryan spent the next days learning more about Ila and her people, the Viuri. They were graceful, intelligent, and deeply connected to their planet. Their city, made of glowing crystal, seemed alive. Every structure hummed softly with energy, responding to the thoughts and movements of the Viuri. Ryan marveled at their technology, which was unlike anything humans had ever created. It did not destroy or dominate, it worked with nature, amplifying the energy of the planet to support life. Ila guided him through the city, showing him gardens that floated in the air and fountains that reflected not water but streams of colored light. She introduced him to her people, who observed him carefully but without fear. The Viuri communicated through subtle gestures, lights, and hums, yet Ryan could understand much of it with the help of his translator device. He realized their language was not just sound, it was emotion, thought, and intention combined. One evening, while studying the energy signatures around the city, Ryan noticed something alarming. Long-range sensors on his ship indicated a large fleet moving toward their sector. At first, it was unclear who they were, but as he analyzed the data, his heart sank. These ships were part of the Galactic Empire, the same government that humans served. They were searching for new planets to colonize. Ryan knew the consequences if they discovered the Viuri world. The planet would be claimed, and Ila's people would be destroyed. He returned to the city and explained the situation to Ila as best he could. She listened carefully, her glowing eyes reflecting worry. The Viuri rarely engaged in conflict. They relied on secrecy, diplomacy, and intelligence to survive. Facing the human empire directly would be dangerous. Ryan could see the fear in her expression. It was subtle, yet powerful. "They will take everything from us," Ila said softly, her hums translating through the device. "We cannot fight their machines. Our people are peaceful. We protect our world through harmony, not war." Ryan's mind raced. He knew the Empire would not hesitate to destroy a species that stood in its way. His duty as a human commander was clear: report the planet to his superiors. But his heart told him otherwise. He had grown to care for Ila, for her people, and for this extraordinary world. He could not allow their destruction. "I will help you," Ryan said firmly. "I cannot let them find this place. I will find a way to protect it." Ila studied him, her expression unreadable for a moment. Then she extended her hand, a sign of trust and acceptance. Ryan understood that he was no longer just a visitor. He had become part of something far bigger than himself. Over the next few days, Ryan and Ila worked together to strengthen the city's defenses. The Viori had hidden shields that could cloak the city, but they were old and fragile. Ryan combined human technology with their energy systems to create a stronger barrier, one that could withstand long-range scans. As they worked side by side, Ryan learned more about Ila's people. They valued knowledge, creativity, and balance. They did not fight because they enjoyed peace, they fought because survival demanded it. One evening, after a long day of adjustments, Ryan and Ila rested on a hill overlooking the city. The sky was filled with colors he had never seen before, shimmering streaks of light flowing across the horizon. "Your people are amazing," Ryan said quietly. "I have never seen anything like this. You live in harmony with your planet in a way humans have never learned." Ila smiled softly and touched his arm. "Humans have great strength and curiosity. You can learn. You can understand if you open your heart." Ryan felt a warmth spread through him. He realized he was no longer thinking about duty, rank, or orders. All that mattered was protecting this world, and being close to Ila. He wanted to understand her fully, to learn from her, and to stand beside her no matter what came. The next morning, Ryan received an urgent message from his ship. The Empire's fleet had increased in speed, heading straight toward the sector. He shared the news with Ila. The Viori Council gathered, glowing in a soft light as they discussed the situation silently. Ryan could see their worry, their careful calculations of risk. The humans' arrival could bring ruin to their entire species. "We must hide the city completely," Ila said finally. "There is no other choice. If they see us, it will be the end." Ryan nodded. He had already begun modifying the shields to create a complete invisibility field, blending human technology and Viori energy. It was risky, any miscalculation could alert the Empire to their presence. He worked tirelessly, often guided by Ila's knowledge of her planet. Together, they built a system that could hide the city from sensors, visuals, and even energy scans. As they labored, Ryan noticed how much he had come to rely on Ila. Her calm, steady presence gave him strength. Her knowledge was vast, and her trust in him inspired courage. He felt more alive here than he had ever felt among humans. He realized that he did not only want to protect her world, he wanted to be part of it, and part of her life. One night, while testing the shields, an unexpected failure caused a small energy flare. It was brief, but enough for Ryan to fear discovery. He and Ila watched in silence as the flare disappeared, leaving the city untouched. "You risk everything for us," Ila said softly. "Even your own world. Why do you care so much?" Ryan looked at her, the stars reflected in his eyes. "Because I believe life is worth protecting. Because I care about you. And because some things are bigger than orders, bigger than duty. This planet, your people, they matter to me." Ila reached for his hand. Her touch was gentle, and Ryan felt a connection stronger than he could explain. He knew that the danger was far from over, but he also knew that he would face it with her. Together, they could find a way. In the days that followed, the Empire's fleet grew closer. Ryan and Ila worked tirelessly, improving the defenses, communicating through gestures and simple words, and sharing their knowledge. Their bond deepened as they trusted each other completely. Ryan saw the strength of Ila's people, their unity, and their wisdom. He realized that their way of life was not only beautiful but necessary, and he would protect it at all costs. Ryan knew that the choices ahead would be difficult. His superiors expected obedience, and discovery by the Empire would mean death or worse for the Vuori. Yet, he felt certain of one thing: he would not abandon Hila. He would find a way to save her world, even if it meant risking everything he had ever known. As night fell again over the glowing city, Ryan stood beside Hila, looking at the stars. He could feel the Empire drawing closer, the tension in the air thick and heavy. Yet in that moment, he also felt hope. Together, he and Hila had a chance to protect her people and prove that courage and love could overcome even the greatest threats. The challenge was immense, but Ryan was ready. His heart was no longer just his own. It belonged to Hila, to her world, and to the future they would face together. Ryan returned to the starship Aurora with a heavy heart. The fleet awaited his report, and his superiors expected him to deliver precise coordinates of the newly discovered planet. Every instinct screamed at him to obey. He was a commander, trained to follow orders. Yet, his mind was filled with thoughts of Hila and her people, the Vuori. They were peaceful, intelligent, and entirely unaware of the danger approaching. If he reported the planet, the Empire would claim it without question. Hila's species would be lost forever. Ryan sat alone in the command room, staring at the blinking console lights. He tapped his fingers against the control panel, weighing his options. To follow orders would be safe, predictable, and loyal to his fleet. To defy them would risk everything: his career, his reputation, and possibly his life. But loyalty meant more than obedience. It meant protecting what was right, even if the cost was personal. He made his decision. He would not reveal the planet's location. He would protect Hila's people, no matter the consequences. His heart raced as he prepared a falsified report, carefully omitting the planet from the official logs. The code was flawless, leaving no trace of the hidden world. He hoped it would be enough. Returning to the planet, Ryan felt a wave of relief as he saw the glowing city through the shuttle viewport. The Vuori were going about their daily lives, unaware of the danger that loomed in the galaxy. Hila met him at the landing site, her eyes bright with curiosity and concern. "You stayed away too long," she said, her voice gentle. "Did they question you?" Ryan shook his head. "I gave them no location. They have nothing to report. But we cannot rely on luck. They will search the sector more carefully. We need a plan." Hila nodded. She led him to a chamber deep within the city, a place where the energy of the planet was strongest. Here, the Vuori stored knowledge and technology that had been passed down for generations. The walls glowed with symbols, each one alive with meaning. "This is where we can work together," Hila said. "You understand our technology, and we can teach you. Together, we can make the city invisible to all who seek it." Ryan studied the systems carefully. He realized that the Vuori technology was incredible, but fragile. Any misuse could create an energy surge, revealing their presence. Yet, with his human engineering skills, he could strengthen their defenses. He began to combine human and Vuori methods, designing a shield that would cloak the city from sensors, visuals, and energy scans. The work was long and exhausting. Ryan and Hila spent hours together in the chamber, testing energy fields, adjusting frequencies, and learning from each other. Their bond grew stronger with every task completed. Ryan admired Hila's patience and intelligence. She explained the connections between the city and the planet's energy, teaching him to see the world in a way humans rarely could. One evening, after a long day of work, they sat outside the city on a hill overlooking the glowing landscape. The twin moons reflected off the crystal structures, creating a shimmering world of light. Ryan felt a rare peace. "You are different from other humans I have heard about," Hila said softly. "Most would obey without question, but you think for yourself. You care more than duty. That is rare." Ryan smiled. I care because I cannot do otherwise. I cannot allow your people to be harmed. Not after knowing you. Hila reached for his hand. The simple gesture carried warmth, trust, and something deeper. Ryan felt a connection unlike anything he had known. He realized that his mission had changed. He was no longer exploring for the sake of science or duty. He was fighting for love, for life, and for the possibility of a future where humans and Viori could coexist peacefully. The next days were filled with careful preparations. Ryan studied the Empire's fleet patterns, predicting their moves and potential strategies. Hila taught him about the planet's natural defenses, including hidden energy fields that could mislead intruders. Together, they worked to create decoys and traps that would keep the Empire away. Every success brought relief, but also tension. One mistake could reveal the city and doom everyone. During a quiet moment, Ryan asked Hila about her life before the Empire approached. She told him about her people's history, how they had survived countless threats through intelligence and secrecy. She spoke of harmony, growth, and the responsibility of protecting their world. Ryan listened, fascinated, realizing that the Viori had mastered a balance that humans rarely achieved. You teach me as much as I teach you, Ryan said. I never thought I could learn so much from someone so different. Hila smiled. We learn from all who are willing. You are willing, Ryan. That is why I trust you. Their partnership was no longer only about survival. It had grown into something personal, a bond built on trust, respect, and a shared goal. Ryan found himself thinking of Hila constantly. Her laughter, her curiosity, her determination, all of it drew him closer. He realized that his feelings were not just admiration. He was in love with her. One day, Ryan noticed that the Empire's fleet was moving faster than expected. Scouts had been sent, likely in response to reports of unexplored sectors. He realized that hiding the planet would not be simple. He discussed the situation with Hila. We need more than a shield, he said. We need a strategy. If they come too close, we must guide them away without revealing the city. Hila nodded. We have ideas. We can use illusions, energy patterns, and misdirection. But it will be dangerous. We cannot fail. Ryan met her gaze and nodded. I will not fail. Not while I am here. They spent the next week implementing the plan. Energy fields were adjusted to mimic natural planetary disturbances, creating illusions that confused sensors. Decoy signals suggested barren landscapes, steering the fleet away. Ryan worked tirelessly, often losing track of time as he collaborated with Hila and the Viori engineers. The city's defenses grew stronger with every adjustment. During these long hours, Ryan felt a quiet joy in Hila's company. They shared stories, laughter, and quiet moments of connection. Each moment reinforced his resolve. He knew that the choices he had made, defying orders, risking his position, even endangering his life, were worth it. Hila's world was worth protecting, and his feelings for her made the mission personal in a way nothing else ever had. By the end of the week, the city was nearly invisible. Ryan and Hila tested the final shield together. When it activated, the city seemed to vanish into the planet itself. Sensors detected only natural energy fluctuations, nothing more. They had succeeded. Hila turned to Ryan, her glowing eyes reflecting pride and relief. You have done something remarkable. Not many humans would risk everything for others. Ryan smiled, feeling both exhausted and fulfilled. I would do it again. I will do anything to protect you and your people. She reached for his hand once more, and this time, the gesture carried unspoken words, trust, connection, and the start of a deeper bond. Ryan understood fully that he was no longer just an outsider. He was part of this world, and part of Hila's life. As they stood together, looking at the hidden city, Ryan knew the Empire was still out there, searching. The threat was far from over. But for the first time, He felt confident. Together, he and Hila could face anything. The Viore world was safe for now, and their bond had grown unbreakable. Ryan realized that defying orders had been the right choice. He had risked everything, but the reward was beyond measure. He had found love, trust, and purpose. And he knew that no matter what came next, he would not face it alone. The calm of the Viore city was broken one morning by an unusual vibration in the air. Ryan and Hila stood on the highest crystal tower, scanning the sky with advanced sensors. The human fleet had arrived. Small scout ships flickered in the distance, and beyond them, massive warships loomed, moving steadily toward the sector. Ryan's heart raced. He had prepared the shields and illusions, but nothing could guarantee complete safety. The Empire was relentless, skilled at detecting even the faintest energy traces. Every second counted. "They are closer than we expected," Ryan said. "We need to activate the full defenses now." Hila nodded and guided him through the city's control chamber. The Viore moved with precision, their hands glowing as they interacted with energy streams flowing from the planet. Ryan worked alongside them, adjusting the shield frequencies and creating decoys to mislead the incoming fleet. The Viore were calm and methodical, but Ryan could see the tension in their movements. They had survived many threats through intelligence, yet the Empire's technology was unlike anything they had faced. Ryan realized that if they failed, it would not only mean death for the city but the extinction of an entire species. As the first scouts approached, the illusions went into effect. The city seemed to vanish, replaced by patterns of barren landscapes and natural energy fluctuations. The scouts scanned the area but detected nothing unusual. One by one, they reported back to the main fleet, convinced the planet was uninhabited. Ryan felt a small relief, but he knew the danger was far from over. The main fleet was approaching, and their sensors were far more advanced. If they came too close, the shields would need to hold perfectly, or the Empire would discover the city. "We must be ready for anything," Hila said. "They may try to see through the illusions." Ryan nodded. He and Hila devised a series of contingencies. If a ship penetrated the outer layer, the city would shift its energy patterns, creating a mirage of sudden terrain changes. If they detected scanning beams, the shields would absorb and redirect the energy, appearing as harmless anomalies. Hours passed, and tension filled the air. The Viore monitored the fleet with quiet intensity, their eyes reflecting the soft glow of the city's energy. Ryan worked tirelessly alongside them, checking and recalibrating the defenses. Each moment was critical, and each error could be catastrophic. Suddenly, a scout ship detected an energy fluctuation. Ryan's heart jumped. The ship adjusted its course, moving closer to the city. He and Hila activated the secondary defenses. Energy streams shifted and shimmered, creating the illusion of mountains and rivers where none existed. The scout paused, then slowly veered away, reporting nothing to the fleet. Hila touched Ryan's arm. "You are brave. Your decisions save us." Ryan smiled briefly, though his mind was focused on the work. "We are saving your people together. I cannot do it alone." The main fleet entered the sector. Massive ships moved like shadows against the stars. Ryan and Hila watched, feeling the weight of the moment. The shields held, but any failure would be disastrous. They coordinated with the Viore engineers, reinforcing weak points and maintaining constant vigilance. As the fleet scanned, a sudden surge of energy from a nearby star threatened to disrupt the shields. Ryan adjusted the frequencies, using both human and Viore technology to stabilize the field. The city remained hidden, but Ryan felt the strain. Every adjustment required precision and focus. One mistake could reveal them. Hours turned into a tense night. The fleet remained in the sector, searching methodically. Ryan and Hila did not rest. They took shifts, ensuring the shields never faltered. During a brief pause, Ryan watched the Viore at work. Their movements were elegant, synchronized with the energy of the planet itself. He realized how different they were from humans. They lived in harmony with their world, using intelligence and patience rather than force. "You are learning quickly," Ila said softly. "You understand our ways better than many humans ever could." Ryan looked at her, feeling a surge of warmth. "I want to understand. I want to protect you and your people. Nothing else matters." Ila smiled, a glow in her eyes. Their connection had deepened since his arrival. They had faced danger together, built defenses together, and shared knowledge. Ryan realized that his feelings for her were no longer simple admiration. He was in love, and he would do anything to keep her safe. As the fleet began to move slowly away, convinced the planet was empty, a new challenge appeared. A scout ship broke formation, moving faster than the rest. It was likely investigating an unusual energy signature near the city. Ryan and Ila acted immediately. They intensified the shield around the city and created an energy mirage to redirect the ship. The scout adjusted its path, following the illusion and returning to the fleet without discovering the city. Ila exhaled slowly, relief clear in her movements. "You are clever. You saved us again." Ryan placed his hand over hers. "We saved each other," he said. "I could not do this without you." The rest of the night passed with minor adjustments, but no further detections occurred. The Empire's fleet began to leave the sector, and the city remained hidden. Ryan felt exhausted but triumphant. They had faced one of the greatest threats imaginable and emerged victorious. Yet he knew this was only the beginning. The Empire would return, more determined than ever. Their technology, their curiosity, and their ambition would not allow them to ignore a planet with unusual energy. Ryan realized that protecting the Viori would be a constant challenge, requiring vigilance, intelligence, and courage. He looked at Ila, standing beside him as the first light of the planet's morning appeared. The city glowed softly in the dawn, its energy alive and vibrant. "We survived today," he said quietly. "But we must always be ready. They will come again." Ila nodded. "And we will be ready. Together." Ryan felt a sense of determination. They had faced overwhelming odds and succeeded. He had learned the strength of the Viori people and their connection to the planet. He had also realized the power of his own courage and knowledge. Together, he and Ila had created a defense stronger than any one species alone could achieve. In that moment, Ryan understood the truth. The Empire might be vast and powerful, but intelligence, strategy, and cooperation could overcome even the greatest threat. The Viori world was safe for now, and their bond had grown stronger through the trial. As the city shimmered in the morning light, Ryan knew he had made the right choice. He had defied orders, risked everything, and discovered something more valuable than any mission report or medal. He had found trust, friendship, and love. The Empire was still out there, but Ryan was ready. He and Ila would face whatever came next together. They had protected the Viori once, and they would do it again if necessary. For the first time since arriving on this planet, Ryan felt a deep sense of purpose. He was not just an explorer or a soldier. He was a protector, a partner, and a part of something far greater than himself. And he knew that with Ila by his side, no challenge would be too great. The threat had arrived and had been overcome, but the journey was far from over. The future of the Viori, and the bond between Ryan and Ila, depended on courage, wisdom, and unwavering trust. And Ryan was ready to face it all. Ryan paced the chamber, his mind racing with every possibility. The Empire's fleet had retreated for now, but their presence was a clear warning. They would return, stronger, with more ships, and with better technology to detect hidden planets. The Viori city was safe for the moment, but its survival depended on more than just shields and illusions. Ryan realized that the next step required a bold choice, one that could change everything. Ila approached him, her glowing eyes reflecting concern. "You are troubled, Ryan." What weighs on your mind? He stopped pacing and looked at her. The Empire will return. We can hide the city, but hiding is temporary. They will eventually come closer, and one mistake could reveal everything. I have been thinking, maybe we need to create a plan that makes the city seem unreachable. Ela tilted her head, curious. Do you mean, an illusion that is permanent? Yes, Ryan said. Something that convinces the Empire that this planet is uninhabitable. If we succeed, your people will be safe. But it will be risky. If it fails, it could draw the Empire directly here. I will need to risk everything, my life, my duty, even my standing with humanity. Ela studied him silently, sensing the seriousness in his words. Then she reached for his hand. You are willing to risk yourself for us? Ryan nodded. I cannot let them harm your people. Not when I know you, and not when I have seen what you and your world are worth. I would risk everything to protect this planet. I cannot turn back. The Viore Council gathered to discuss the plan. They considered every aspect carefully, analyzing the risks and possible outcomes. They rarely acted in haste, but Ryan's presence had inspired confidence. His understanding of human technology, combined with their knowledge of energy and the planet's natural defenses, gave them a chance to succeed. The plan was daring. They would create a massive illusion, making the Empire believe that the planet was a hostile, unstable environment. Energy fields would simulate violent storms, radiation bursts, and shifting terrain. Sensor readings would indicate extreme danger, warning the fleet to stay away. If executed correctly, the Empire would leave the sector permanently, leaving the Viore safe. Ryan and Ela spent hours preparing. He coordinated with the Viore engineers, adjusting frequencies, calibrating energy projections, and ensuring every detail was precise. Ela guided him, teaching him the subtleties of their technology and the ways of the planet's energy. They moved together seamlessly, a team united by purpose and trust. As the final adjustments were made, Ryan looked at Ela. We will succeed, he said. But I need you to know that the risk is great. If anything goes wrong, it could mean the end for all of us. Ela smiled, her expression steady. We face risks every day to protect what we love. I trust you, Ryan. We will succeed together. The operation began. Energy streams from the planet pulsed outward, creating massive illusions visible to sensors and scanners. The sky above the planet seemed to churn with storms that did not exist. Terrain shifted in impossible ways, creating the appearance of mountains and fissures where none were real. Radiation readings fluctuated wildly, convincing even the most advanced sensors that the planet was dangerous. Ryan monitored every signal, adjusting as needed. The Empire's fleet approached cautiously, scanning for life. Every second was tense. If the illusions faltered, they could be detected. But Ryan's careful calculations, combined with Ela's guidance, kept the deception flawless. Hours passed. The fleet's sensors indicated nothing but danger. One ship attempted to move closer, but the energy illusions diverted it away. Another reported unstable readings, forcing the fleet to change course. Slowly, the Empire began to retreat, convinced that the planet was uninhabitable. Ryan exhaled, feeling the tension ease slightly. It's working, he said quietly. They are leaving. They believe the planet is too dangerous to explore. Ela placed her hand on his arm. You have saved us again, Ryan. You risked yourself to protect my people. You have shown courage beyond measure. Ryan looked at her, feeling a mix of relief and pride. I did not do it alone. You and your people guided me. I only followed your lead. I only wanted to help. For the first time, the full weight of his choices hit him. He had disobeyed orders, risked his position in the human fleet, and put himself in danger. Yet, the reward was immeasurable. Ela's people were safe, and the city remained hidden. More importantly, his bond with Hila had grown stronger. He realized that love and duty could coexist, and sometimes courage meant defying expectations to do what was right. As the last ships of the Empire disappeared beyond the horizon, Ryan and Hila stood together, watching the sky. The city below glowed softly, a symbol of survival, intelligence, and hope. "You could return to your fleet now," Hila said. "You could be safe. You have done enough." Ryan shook his head. "I cannot leave. Not yet. The Empire may return someday, and I want to be here. I want to help protect your people. I want to stay with you." Hila's eyes glowed brighter. "Then stay, Ryan. You are ours now, just as we are yours." Ryan felt a warmth in his chest. The risk he had taken, the choice he had made, had led him to this moment. He was no longer a visitor or an outsider. He was part of the Viore world, part of their family, and part of Hila's life. In the following days, Ryan helped reinforce the city's defenses, making improvements to the illusions and the energy shields. He also worked to understand the planet more deeply, learning its rhythms, energy patterns, and natural protections. Hila guided him patiently, and their relationship continued to grow. Their bond was no longer just professional or based on trust, it was personal, built on shared experience, courage, and mutual care. One evening, as they stood on a hill overlooking the glowing city, Hila turned to Ryan. "You made a choice that few humans would have made. You risked your world, your duty, everything, to protect mine. That is courage beyond measure." Ryan smiled. "I did not do it for recognition. I did it because it was right. Because I care about you, about your people, and about this world. I could not have left it unprotected." Hila reached for his hand. "Then we are together in purpose and in heart. We will face whatever comes next, side by side." Ryan squeezed her hand, feeling a sense of peace and determination. The Empire might return, and dangers could arise at any time, but he knew they could face them together. His decision had been dangerous, but it had created a future worth fighting for. For Ryan, there was no turning back. He had chosen love, courage, and hope over safety and obedience. The Viore people were safe for now, the city remained hidden, and his connection with Hila had grown unbreakable. The journey ahead would be difficult, but Ryan was ready. He had made a dangerous choice, but it was the right one. And he knew that together, he and Hila could face anything the universe might bring. The day had arrived. Ryan and Hila stood together in the city's central chamber, preparing to execute their most daring plan yet. The Empire's fleet was returning, larger and more determined than before. The previous illusions had kept them away temporarily, but now the threat was greater. Every action had to be precise. Any mistake could expose the city and place the Viore in grave danger. Ryan looked at Hila, noticing the calm determination in her glowing eyes. "Are you ready?" he asked. Hila nodded. "We are ready. We have planned carefully. We will succeed together." They moved to the control panels, a combination of Viore energy streams and human technology. Ryan adjusted the frequencies while Hila monitored the energy flow of the planet. Together, they began the operation. The city's shields glimmered with increasing intensity, and the illusions expanded to cover not just the city but the surrounding terrain. Storms, mountains, and shifting landscapes appeared on sensors, creating a convincing illusion of danger. Ryan's heart pounded as he watched the approaching fleet. Scout ships arrived first, detecting the illusions. They reported back to the main fleet, confirming that the planet was unstable and hazardous. The main fleet hesitated, scanning cautiously. Ryan and Hila knew that the smallest error could alert the Empire to their deception. Suddenly, one scout emitted a high-frequency signal, scanning deeper into the city's energy patterns. Ryan's hands moved quickly over the controls, adjusting the shields and redirecting the signal. The scout faltered, misreading the energy fluctuations, and reported false data to the fleet. Hila watched silently, her focus unwavering. "You are steady," she said softly. "Even under pressure, you make the right choice." Ryan nodded, feeling both the strain and the determination. "I have to. Too much is at stake to falter now." The fleet continued to approach, scanning every energy signature with precision. Ryan and Hila worked seamlessly, combining human strategy and Viore energy manipulation. The illusions became more complex, creating the impression of a planet that was not only dangerous but impossible to land on. Storms raged on the horizon, volcanic activity appeared to shake the ground, and radiation readings fluctuated wildly. Hours passed. The fleet remained, searching, testing, and scanning. Ryan and Hila adjusted every anomaly, every detail, ensuring that the Empire's sensors were fooled at every step. The city's energy streams pulsed with intensity, and Ryan could feel the strain building. His mind and body were exhausted, but he could not stop. The lives of the Viore depended on their success. Then, a sudden spike appeared on the monitors. A ship had penetrated part of the illusion and was moving closer to the city. Ryan's heart raced. He realized that this was the moment of greatest risk. Any failure here could reveal their location to the entire fleet. "Stay calm," Hila said. "You can do this. Trust the planet, trust the energy, trust yourself." Ryan adjusted the shields, redirecting the intruding scan into a false energy field. The ship appeared to be scanning a barren, lifeless area and slowly moved away, reporting back that the planet was uninhabitable. Relief washed over Ryan, but he did not relax. The Empire was still close, and they would not give up easily. Hours turned into night. Ryan and Hila monitored the fleet from the city's towers, making subtle adjustments to maintain the illusions. Exhaustion threatened to overcome them, but they encouraged each other to stay focused. Every signal, every fluctuation, was critical. Failure was not an option. Finally, the main fleet began to withdraw. They had been convinced that the planet was too dangerous to approach. Ryan exhaled deeply, feeling a mixture of relief and pride. They had succeeded. The city was hidden, and the Empire would leave the sector for the foreseeable future. Hila turned to Ryan, her glowing eyes reflecting admiration and gratitude. "You risked everything," she said. "Your courage and your knowledge saved us. You have given my people a future." Ryan shook his head. "We did it together. Your guidance, your wisdom, and your trust made this possible. I only acted because I knew we could succeed as one." They walked through the city, observing the calm and peaceful lives of the Viore. Children played among floating gardens, and citizens moved gracefully through the glowing structures. The energy of the planet pulsed in harmony with the people, a perfect balance that Ryan had never witnessed in the human worlds. He felt a deep respect for Hila's species and their way of life. Later, as the first light of the planet's morning bathed the city in soft colors, Ryan and Hila stood together on a hill overlooking the glowing towers. The mission had tested their courage, intelligence, and resolve. The Empire had been fooled, but Ryan knew this was only the beginning. Other threats might come, and vigilance would always be necessary. Yet in that moment, he allowed himself to feel peace. He had risked everything, and the reward was beyond measure. Hila's people were safe, and the bond between him and Hila had grown stronger than ever. He realized that his purpose had changed. He was no longer just a commander of a human fleet. He was a protector, a partner, and a part of a world worth defending. Hila reached for his hand. "We have faced the ultimate risk," she said. "And we survived. Your courage will be remembered among my people. Your heart is brave, Ryan." Ryan felt warmth spread through him. He had discovered that love and courage could inspire action beyond what he thought possible. By risking himself, he had not only protected a species but also strengthened a connection that was more valuable than any mission or medal. They spent the rest of the day reinforcing the city's defenses, making improvements to the energy shields, and studying the planet's natural rhythms. Ryan learned more about the Viuri, their intelligence, and their harmony with the world around them. Every lesson deepened his respect and love for Ila and her people. That night, they stood together under the alien stars, their hands entwined. The city below shimmered softly, safe and hidden. Ryan felt a sense of fulfillment he had never known. He had faced danger, defied orders, and risked his life. Yet the outcome was worth every moment of fear and tension. "You could have stayed with your fleet," Ila said softly. "You could have followed orders and avoided this risk." Ryan shook his head. "I could not. I would not. Some things are worth more than duty, more than obedience. Your people, this world, and you are worth everything I have. I will always protect you." Ila's eyes glowed brighter as she leaned close. "Then we are bound, Ryan. In purpose, in heart, and in courage. We will face whatever comes next together." Ryan looked out at the glowing city, the peaceful Viuri, and the stars beyond. He knew the universe was vast and filled with challenges, but he was no longer alone. Together, he and Ila had overcome the ultimate risk. Together, they had created a future filled with hope, courage, and love. For Ryan, the moment was clear. The galaxy might be dangerous, the Empire relentless, but they had proven that intelligence, courage, and unity could overcome any threat. He had risked everything, and the reward was a life filled with purpose, connection, and love. The ultimate risk had been taken, and they had survived. The city was safe, the Empire deceived, and the bond between Ryan and Ila unbreakable. Together, they would face the future, ready for whatever challenges the universe might bring. The Empire had retreated, and for now, the Viuri city was safe. Ryan stood beside Ila on a hill overlooking the glowing towers, feeling the gentle hum of the planet beneath their feet. The risk they had taken, the long nights of planning and defense, had paid off. The city was hidden, the fleet deceived, and the Viuri people could live in peace for the foreseeable future. Ryan turned to Ila. "We did it. Your world is safe, at least for now. I never imagined the universe could be so beautiful, or that I could care so much about a place I had just discovered." Ila smiled, her glowing eyes reflecting pride and affection. "It is beautiful because we protect it. And you, Ryan, made it even safer. You risked everything for us. That is bravery beyond measure." Ryan felt a warmth in his chest. He realized that bravery was not just about fighting battles or facing enemies. Sometimes, it was about standing up for what was right, even when it meant defying orders and risking everything. He had discovered that courage could create change, and love could inspire the greatest acts of all. The next days were filled with rebuilding and improvement. Ryan worked alongside the Viuri, strengthening the energy shields, improving the illusions, and ensuring the city's defenses would remain hidden for years to come. He also studied their way of life, learning about their culture, traditions, and deep connection to the planet. Every lesson deepened his admiration and love for them, and for Ila. Ila guided him patiently, showing him how to harmonize technology with nature, how to feel the flow of energy in the planet, and how to understand the subtle movements of the Viuri city. Ryan realized that he was no longer a visitor or an outsider. He was a part of this world, a partner in protecting it, and a part of Ila's life. One evening, as the twin moons rose over the glowing city, Ila and Ryan sat together on a hill. The air was filled with the soft hum of energy streams, and the city below shimmered like a living jewel. "You have chosen a difficult path, Ryan," Ila said softly. "You left your fleet, risked your position, and stood against your own people to protect mine. That choice shows your heart. And now, I wish to ask something of you." Ryan looked at her, curiosity and concern in his eyes. "Anything. You know I will do anything for you and your people." Ila reached for his hand. "Stay with us. Live here, protect this world, and be mine. Not just in duty, but in life. We are strong together, and I cannot imagine this world without you." Ryan felt a surge of emotion. The choice was clear, though it had already been made in his heart. He had risked everything to protect her and her people, and now she offered him a place by her side. He took her hand firmly. "I will stay. I belong here now, with you and your people. I will protect this world, not out of duty, but out of love. You are worth every risk I have taken." Hila's eyes glowed brighter, reflecting both joy and relief. She leaned closer, and in that quiet moment, the bond between them became unbreakable. Ryan knew that his future was no longer uncertain. He had found purpose, love, and a home in a world he never expected to be a part of. The days that followed were filled with harmony and growth. Ryan became a trusted member of the Viore Council, working with Hila and the leaders to improve defenses, explore the planet's potential, and prepare for any future threats. He shared human knowledge and technology carefully, always respecting the planet's natural balance. The Viore welcomed his contributions, and he learned as much from them as he gave. Ryan and Hila's relationship deepened with every passing day. They shared quiet walks through floating gardens, studied energy flows together, and laughed under the twin moons. Their love was strong, grounded in mutual respect, shared danger, and the bond they had forged through extraordinary circumstances. One day, as they walked along a crystal path that reflected the soft glow of the city, Ryan reflected on everything that had happened. He had risked his position in the human fleet, disobeyed orders, and faced incredible danger. But in doing so, he had discovered courage, purpose, and love. He realized that the universe was vast, filled with dangers and wonders, but it was also a place where connection and trust could overcome the greatest odds. Hila looked at him and smiled. "You have changed much since arriving, Ryan. You are brave, wise, and full of heart. You belong here, not just with us, but as a part of this world." Ryan nodded, feeling the truth in her words. "I have learned that protecting life, valuing trust, and choosing love are the greatest strengths anyone can have. I have found that with you and your people. This world is now my home, and you are my life." As the sun rose over the horizon, casting colors across the glowing towers, Ryan and Hila stood together, hand in hand, looking out at the city they had protected. The Viore moved below them, living peacefully, unaware of the dangers that had been so close. Ryan knew that vigilance would always be needed, but he felt confident. With Hila by his side, he could face anything. The Empire might return, but Ryan was ready. Together, he and Hila had proven that intelligence, courage, and love could protect an entire species. Together, they had created a future filled with hope, strength, and unity. In that moment, Ryan realized that the universe had given him more than he had ever expected. He had found love, purpose, and a home in a world that was now as much his as it was Hila's. Every risk, every choice, every moment of courage had led to this new beginning. He turned to Hila, smiling. "We have faced every danger, and we have survived. Now, we can build a life here, together." Hila squeezed his hand, her glow reflecting the joy in her heart. "Yes, Ryan. Together, we will face the future. Together, we will protect this world. And together, we will live fully, with courage and love in every moment." Ryan looked at the glowing city, at the peaceful Viore, and at the endless sky beyond. The future was wide, filled with possibilities, and he was no longer alone. He had found a purpose greater than any mission, greater than any order. He had found love, belonging, and a reason to fight for life itself. And with Hila by his side, he knew that no challenge, no threat, and no force in the universe could break what they had built. Their journey had been dangerous, their choices daring, but the reward was immeasurable. Together, they had created a new beginning, a life worth living, and a bond that would endure beyond any star, any fleet, and any danger the universe could bring. Ryan took a deep breath, feeling the energy of the planet flow through him. He was home, he was alive, and he was hers. Hila smiled, and in that shared moment, they both knew the future was theirs to shape, together, as protectors, partners, and the strongest allies the galaxy had ever seen. The Empire had been fooled, the city was safe, and love had triumphed over fear. Ryan and Hila looked out over the glowing horizon, ready to face whatever the universe had in store, united, unshakable, and stronger than any threat.